to everyone. We have a new month and maybe a month that comes with some opportunity. So you should be aware. This is just a personal chart that I have posted this on the beginning of October, as soon as the month has started. Of course, to be honest with you, we're already long on Bitcoin since 2 days now, and that's a good thing. Okay, and in order to do that, of course, we chart. And we used this chart over here. So we had the levels, and of course we bought down here at exactly the end of the channel. I would like to revisit this one, the where can Bitcoin go. This is an idea from March 14, 2023, and those were my targets back then. So back in 2023, in the beginning of the year, I had given my targets for 120 at the end of 2025 and first 42,000 this summer, June, July 2023. The price was at 24,000, and let's click on play. You will see that we met those targets, the 46 first, rejection, support after the breakout, of course, and the 120. A lot of my followers that they have been following me for a long time, they tell me, hey, your chart from back then, which I have revisited in many occasions. That was the where can Bitcoin go exclusively for my uh, community. And where can Bitcoin go? It has another 9 parts. So we revisited the same exact trend lines. A lot asking, hey, it came at the end, so what's happening? Well, it has to do with the cycle, guys. So the revised levels are 138K in many occasions. For example, here, so 138, 140 is my expectation, and we are still on this same level. Of course, back then we had to come lower towards what I showed you earlier, the lower bottom of the chart. You see how well the chart works. Let me get the Powell out of the way. He doesn't want to go away. And from there, um, the same chart and my analysis doesn't change. It just gets renewed every few months. 138 and 140 is my expectation. And of course, I have very recently, yesterday, posted about October and what has happened the previous times that we had October 1st, 4 years cycle. So October 1st, 2017, let me get the clean chart over here. We had a times 5 in 60 days, guys. And then 4 years later, in 2021, we had a 2.5 times rise in 45 days. So a smaller percentage, but in a smaller time frame. Okay, so maybe this pattern will continue. I know everyone's question is what's happening with alts. So that's what we're gonna do now. We're gonna look at alts and different charts and make different kinds of prognosis, the art of looking at the history to be able to make a prolepsis, to be able to try and see and estimate what can happen in the future. And of course, we will start with the Bitcoin chart. So we had the opportunity to buy down here. We had the first, I'm gonna get this out of the way, it's small news now. But anyways, we had the breakout and what you see there. So the target technically is 120, 737, and then the big breakout over that, over 122. My expectations to see 138, 800. Now to look at alts, one must look at Bitcoin dominance. So intraday short term, this is good news and why I am personally increasing my positions and entering into altcoins. I'm a day trader, so I trade the way I trade with leverage, guys. Okay, so uh, overall, this chart is showing that it can drop today and hopefully it can drop more. But for you to have a better understanding of this chart, no need to go to older ideas. That's when we went big time long on Ethereum and it paid out really well. That's when we had a correction. And right now, Bitcoin dominance is still high up. Okay, it's over 58%, but it's not that high up. So, what I want to say by that is that in the previous bull runs, we didn't get a proper bull run. We didn't get altcoin season until we had reached this level, the 73%. Okay, so relatively, we are, like I said, we're day trading. So what matters to me is the, uh, let's say, 30-minute chart. Okay, so the expectation that it will drop to 58 and lower towards 56.91. So that's the first chart you want to know. At the same time, Ethereum dominance, my chart which I have shared with you before, you can find it on my trading view. But here is another look. We are in a very, very clear descending channel. We had amazing opportunity to buy at this level in April, and ever since the target remains 18.29. So uh, it is picking up right now. It is gaining some speed, some momentum, and I am long on Ethereum. But let's look at the actual Ethereum chart. Ethereum versus Bitcoin first. Okay, we had these massive lows. My target remains 0.06. The price is 0.03. So Ethereum could be next to rise again. I'm long on Ethereum over here. And I mean, we have posted so many Ethereum charts like this one here. My targets do not change, guys. You need to understand this. So this is from July with the price at 2,912. Okay, so destination one with Vitalik asleep. Of course, we had changes. Vitalik, there are changes, good changes in Ethereum, but you'll see that target was hit, the 4,881. But guys, I'm not going for the second. I think we're going for the third target at 10,364. That's my expectation, or at least 6,443. I want you to look at this again. This is a chart I shared with you July 18th. Okay. Yes, we have massive up and downs, but look, it went there. We hit the first target. It went down. It found support right here at the 4,000, just below it. Okay. So that was a good time to buy, according to me. And for 800, 6,400. And why not, guys? I'm going to say it one more time. It might sound a little bit too much now, but 10,364 is my third target for Ethereum. And this is Ethereum dominance, which we talked about earlier. Let's go to the next one, which is my 1 hour Ethereum chart. I just want to mention here that I see major support now at 4,143. Okay. And we will take a look at a very important chart, which is the total market cap. So this idea is from July 14. A lot of you were right now the sentiment is very low. Like I sense a lot of people they don't believe. Back then it was a little bit same. We spoke about the bear trap, which we saw there, and our target. So this chart, it still stands, and 481, 514, and the final boss level at 651 is there. So right now, I wouldn't like to be short again. Okay, I'm gonna click on play so you see how the chart plays out. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit, and you will see how well the structure exists, but it's choppy. It's like ups and downs, ups and downs, ups and downs. Now we need to understand something. In these ups, some altcoins doing well, some others drop. In this down, the altcoins that did well, they lose the liquidity and the market gets discouraged. And then up and down and up and down. So we've had this, but overall, this is still very bullish, guys, and maybe it's time to pick up. Okay, so this is my alts 3 my total market cap chart, and the levels are still the same. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. So this is a 1-day chart. This is a 4-hour chart, and you will see how well these levels are doing. The market is pumping right now, and my expectation is that yes, we will see this eventually go here. So uh, overall, I am bullish on this chart as well, despite the noise of what is happening in the world and so on. A lot of you are asking about Solana. Solana, guys, versus Bitcoin, I see support, and since I'm expecting Bitcoin to rise, that means that Solana could rise as well. This is a 4-hour chart, and this is the 12-hour chart, and the target is up here. So maybe, just maybe, we will see Solana rise 20, almost 30% more than Bitcoin. But let's take a look at the Solana chart. Let me get rid of this noise of the drawings because those are my intraday levels. And as you can see over here, we have the Solana chart on the daily time frame. We are into this channel. You know, I like the channels. And right now we are on support for Solana at 204.81. And my target for Solana is this one first, 240. And then eventually, not all the way up, and I will explain why, but somewhere over here at 276, and it could be fast. This is the Fibonacci 1.4, which is the dark pool manipulation. Believe me, guys, after this month, I'm going to be sharing a lot more of the bad things about crypto and the manipulation and the people that don't allow uh, they don't allow people who hold altcoins to smile too much. I'm going to show you another one, which is XRP, which, if you follow me, you know that's the one I don't like right now. I don't like in the past few months. Remember Ethereum and Ethereum versus XRP. I was long on Ethereum for a long time. You can find the ideas. Short on XRP, hedged, and that was technically the best trade I took this year because it was also a safe trade given that I was hedged. Going long on Ethereum, short on XRP. Ethereum has massive resistance over here, and this now brings me to the chart that we're looking at. We are here, 1st October, 8 years ago, 1st October, 4 years ago, 1st October, now, today, 4 years later, and 8 years later, from a 5 times and a 2.5 for Bitcoin. But during this period, how did the other assets perform? So you have here the candles. This is Bitcoin, and this level here is where October 1st, 2017 happened with Bitcoin rising. And during that time, we will see that the assets that outperformed back then was XLM Stellar and XRP. Okay. Everything rose together with almost everything. Ethereum did well, but uh, XRP and Stellar did the best out of the bunch. Now let's go to 2021. Over here, exactly here, again, the candles, that's Bitcoin. And you'll see that the best performer was actually Ethereum in this case. And the worst performer, don't be mistaken, was Cardano, which from October 1st, it had already lost its highs and it kept dropping where everything else was rising. And back then, guys, a lot of people were rushing to Cardano. So the headlines were taking people to Cardano, and the market pumped without Cardano. Okay, so the rest they didn't have much. Litecoin did quite okay. So maybe Litecoin and Ethereum would be it. So what do we have here? We have in 2017 a few assets doing better. We have in 2021, 4 years later, different assets. So there is no pattern here, and one actually dropped. So according to this exercise, I do not see a pattern and something that will help me. Of course, I could break down data in more detail, and unfortunately, we do not have assets. So, for example, some of our favorite assets were not available back then. But what this is telling me is that most likely Bitcoin is going to rise this October, and some alts will follow. Alts in general, I expect them to also be strong. Now, I'm going to leave you with this. Why Pumptober? Well, every October we say Uptober because it's the best month, one of the best months with November, I think, for Bitcoin. But the pattern of Pumptober, as I call it, is that we have the cycle as well. We are towards the end of the cycle. The cycles might be changed as we know them, but it's still there. And the pattern is here. Every 4 years in October, we have massive rise for Bitcoin so far. So times 5 in 60 days in 2017, then a smaller times 2.5 in 45 days in 2021. So in a smaller period, we had two pumps, okay, but in a smaller period, a smaller. 5, 2.5, maybe it's 1.25 times, maybe a 25 percent rise for Bitcoin, and maybe not 60 days or 45 days, but 30 days this time. We don't know, but we are looking at patterns and charts, and we're gonna stick to the charts. And the chart says that we still have juice for this cycle, the cycle as we know them. We have a good month statistically, and we have a chart that allow us to go long. So when we see support like this and structure like this, the same chart that we've been following, there is no other thing to do. We've been buying since here, guys, especially the minute that it reclaimed this level. And the chart shows 120,737. Bitcoin remains my main trade, but I'm also entering some long positions on alts already today. I hope it helps. It's a long video. If you enjoyed, let me know your comments and give it a like, guys. Remember to share the love. Take care.